Coming up, we have the latest information on the Running Rebels transfer portal.
And our very own Jordan Vegas sits down with Tough Enough fighter Noah Kiska.
And everything you need to know for the NFL draft tonight. All that and more coming up on Rebel Report.
Welcome back inside Studio B for Season 19, Episode number 8 of Rebel Report. I'm Kyle Sparrow.
And I'm Ariel Meza, and boy, do we have a lot of sports news for you guys today.
As we near the end of the semester, that means the playoff season is approaching for UNLV's golf team. Here's reporter Ricky Lust with more.
Our men's and women's golf team are officially in their postseason. Our women's team is out in Rancho Mirage, California at Mission Hills Country Club to defend their Mountain West title. Here's head coach Amy Bushherzer on playoff hopes for both teams.
It's fun to be a part of it, and I really do hope that both men's and women's programs can just go and kind of keep checking these boxes, right? Both win the conference championship, both advance to regionals, make it through regionals, and be at the national championship again, because that's just good for UNLV, Las Vegas, and the community that supports us so much.
On the other side, our guys will be out at Omni Tucson National Resort in Tucson, Arizona, May 3rd through 6th to compete in their conference championship. Both teams are coming off huge momentum pieces in the regular season. The women's winning the team event at the Jackrabbits Invitational and then placing T4th at the Cowgirl Classic, while the guys just competed in the Western Intercollegiate broadcast on the Golf Channel and played tied for 3rd. Make sure you follow both teams on social media or myself to keep up with all UNLV golf. And as always, I'm Ricky Luss reporting for Rebel Report.
Thanks, Ricky and Ariel. I think I would smoke you on a golf course.
I don't know, Kyle. Pretty nasty with a 7-iron, but my driver isn't the best, to be honest. But shifting from the green to the hardwood, the Lady Rebels are trying to see who's staying and who's going. We have Jeremiah Skillman in studio to update us and tell us more.
It hasn't been the biggest offseason for the Lady Rebels, but there's been a lot of noise still. And as we know, the Lady Rebels now are getting ready for the next season. The Lady Rebels are currently have 4 people they got released from the transfer portal, and now they have 3 that they gained from the transfer portal. The Lady Rebels also signed the amazing freshman class, coming in from 6 incoming freshmen, all dogs coming from all over. So now the Lady Rebels are looking to now have a full roster with 13 players. I'm looking forward to next season, but what about you guys?
I think so.
But I'm definitely excited for the next season. You know what I'm more excited for? You see that basketball hoop back there?
I do.
Let's go. Come on, Kyle. Watch this.
Oh! When the game is on the line, Ariel Mays is not on his prime. But shifting over to the Running Rebels, they are getting busy in the transfer portal as they've picked up 3 players in the portal. So let's go through them. It started when New Orleans transfer forward MJ Thomas announced his commitment to UNLV on April 17th. He comes to the Scarlet and Gray averaging 10 points per game last season. Then just a day later, Terrence Ford, a guard from Tulsa, transferred in. Although he was hurt, he was there for UNLV's NIT matchup versus Tulsa. Ford came away impressed with forward Tyron Jones. Let's take a listen on what he had to say.
What's crazy is, man, if we could play with him, if I was saying, like, if I could play with him, like, it'd be crazy because, you know, I love lob threat as a point guard. He's a super lob threat. And, like, we was all saying in the locker room, like, he really can go to the NBA. And it's just kind of crazy how everything goes now and things like that. Now we teammates and stuff.
You, Ariel, but I am super excited about this Running Rebels for this upcoming season. And breaking news earlier today, star guard Dre Gibbs-Lawhorn announced his transfer to Texas Tech. Best of luck to Dre in his future endeavors.
Don't go anywhere just yet as we highlight the National Association of Broadcasters convention that was in town.
As well as we recap the Las Vegas Lights game against the Oakland Roots. All that and more coming up. Every day, about 37 people in the U.S. die in drunk driving incidences. That's one person every 39 minutes. Whenever you do drink, you need to take a step back and think. You can ruin your life or someone else's life. Is it really worth it? There are more negative outcomes than positive. Don't drink and drive.
The world is predicted to generate at least 220 million tons of plastic waste in the year of 2024. 70 million tons are predicted to end up in our environment. It's not hard to do. Recycle.
In today's world, getting to know your neighbors isn't just about being friendly, it's about keeping your community safe. Building strong connections with those around you creates an extra layer of security. Neighbors who know each other can help prevent intruders by noticing when something seems off. And when natural disasters strike or emergencies arise, those same connections can make all the difference. Getting to know your neighbors isn't just about community, it's about safety and support. Take some time today to get to know your neighbors. You never know when you might need each other.
Welcome back to Rebel Report, and what better way to start off than with NAB that happened right here in Las Vegas. Alexa Ibarra has more.
The NAB show has taken over the Las Vegas Convention Center, bringing together leaders from across media, technology, and sports. Walking into the NAB show in Las Vegas, the event really leans into the idea of the future of broadcasting. The Sports Summit brought together people from across leagues like the NFL and NBA to talk about where sports media is headed. Walking the floor, there were hands-on experience everywhere, including interactive exhibits allowing creators, students, and professionals to explore the same tools used in today's live sports coverage. One of the most interesting parts is seeing what happens behind the scenes.
Sports, they get the instant replay and slow motion option, so it's constantly recording 6 cameras and then 2 play out, and you build a highlight list from this controller. If you're doing instant replay and slow motion, you have buttons for mark in. If you have a scene, you mark in and mark out.
But that system is constantly evolving as new technology continues to shape the industry.
Man, technology is advancing every single day. If you take a month off, you're behind. Events like NAB are crucial because, like I said, it's ever so evolving, and so all these different broadcast companies are coming out with new equipment, new technologies. AI is a huge thing now. Augmented reality is a huge thing.
If any of you guys are interested in NAB, definitely make sure to check them out next year when they're back in town. What about you guys at the desk? Did you guys get the chance to check out NAB this year?
Thanks, Alexa. Unfortunately, I didn't get to go. I really wanted to, but I just got a little too busy. I know you did go, though. How was it?
Yeah, you know, I got to be there with Behind the Broadcast, as Parker said, who Alexa interviewed, and I just got to say, it was a phenomenal time. I think me, Marcus Bray as well, Will Lewin, they know who they are. We just manned their booth, and really, they are kind of the cornerstone of recognizing people behind the scenes. So, as well as all the tech that was there at NAB. But if you want to go follow Behind the Broadcast on Instagram, it's literally just at Behind the Broadcast, and they do phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, I love the Instagram page. But Kyle, you've been to a basketball or football game before, right? And you've seen the UNLV cheerleaders hard at work.
Without a doubt. They do all of those flips and tricks that make me feel like I've just pulled a muscle just thinking about them here at this desk.
Well, the Valley is home to more cheer teams than just one in the Scarlet and Gray. And with various season-closing events coming up, let's take a look at one of Las Vegas' own reigning D2 Summit champions and what they've been doing to take the title home again for the D2 title championship. Haley, take it away.
With the D2 Summit fast approaching, let's take a look behind the scenes with Las Vegas All-Stars own Rose, the 2023 and 2025 D2 Summit champions.
My name is Colleen Loomis. This is going into my 10th season with Las Vegas All-Stars. Cheerleading means everything to me. It is the sport that changed my life. It is the sport that saved my life. It is the sport that gave me purpose. So cheerleading means absolutely everything to me. Besides my family, this is the most important thing in the world to me. I think the willingness to dedicate yourself to something bigger than yourself and the willingness to push yourself to learn, to grow. I think anyone can do all-star cheerleading if they want to try it. I think it puts a lot more pressure than I think we're used to on ourselves and me and the athletes as well. We've always known how to come back from a losing season. We've never had to come off of a winning season before. So I think it puts a lot of pressure on, like, how do we do it again and how do we maintain that title and how do we make sure that we are still the clear, evident choice even a year later.
You can watch any of the Las Vegas All-Star cheerleading teams on either Flow Cheer or Varsity TV. But for now, this is Haley Carballo, and I'll see you guys on the flip side.
Whoa, what a backflip. Thanks, Haley. And I'll definitely think about tuning in to support the teams in the Valley.
Yeah, what a flip. Speaking of teams in the Valley, Jacqueline Martinez caught up with the Aviators to show us how they're doing in their series against the Salt Lake Bees.
I'm here at the Las Vegas ballpark, home of the Aviators, where they just kicked off Game 2 of their 6-game series against the Salt Lake Bees. Let's see what all the buzz is about.
The series started a bit rocky as the Aviators gave up 8 runs in the series opener on Tuesday. They were able to put up 14 hits of their own, but it ended with a Salt Lake win of 8-5. In Game 2, the Aviators were stung once again as they fell to the Bees 14-3. The Bees' offense was hot as every hitter in the lineup recorded a hit in the game. The Bees starter, Sam Aldeguiri, struck out 7 Aviators hitters through 5 innings and did not give up a run. The only bright spot for the Aviators was a 3-run home run for designated hitter Brian Levestida.
They are still hoping to bounce back as they still have 4 games left against the Bees. Kyle, Ariel, what do you guys think is going to be the outcome of this series?
Well, personally for me, I think, as you said, the Aviators have come up short against the Bees, but hopefully they can have a bounce-back performance to get back in that coveted win column.
On the other hand, the Lights played last night and battled it out with the Oakland Roots SC and made a late push on the road, but ultimately fell 4-2 to Oakland at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. Oakland struck early, opening the scoring in the 18th minute as Peter Wilson finished off a feed from Wolfgang Prentice. Just 4 minutes later, Faisal Batosh doubled the lead, giving the Roots firm control heading into halftime. After half, Wilson added his second in the 58th minute, again assisted by Prentice, stretching the deficit to 3 and putting Las Vegas in a tough spot. But the Lights did not go away just yet. In the 69th minute, Alex Anderson came off the bench and found the back of the net in his debut. Set up by a Ben Mines through ball and topped off with a quick move to get around the keeper. Then in the 78th minute, Johnny Rodriguez cut the deficit to 1, finishing a chance set up by Knight Pickering and suddenly shifting the momentum. Las Vegas had life late, but in the 87th minute, Wilson completed his hat trick from the penalty spot to seal it for Oakland. Despite the result, the Lights showed resilience, but find themselves winless in their last 3 matches as they prepare to host AC Boise this upcoming Saturday at Cashman Field. Coming up, we'll take a sneak peek at an exclusive interview with Tough Enough fighter Noah Kiska.
As well as the NFL draft is later today, and we highlight our top prospects for our favorite teams. So don't go anywhere.
Mother Earth. She cares and nurtures us with food, water, nature, and the sun. But recently, she's been under attack. Global warming is no longer a distant threat. It's here. Rising temperatures, extreme weather, melting ice caps. These are all signs of a planet in distress. But it's not too late. Every small change can help. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Choose clean energy. Plant trees. Together, we can protect our Earth. Act now before it's too late. Our planet, our responsibility.
Drunk driving is more than just a fine. It's lives lost, someone's family member gone, and futures ruined. One choice can lead to a lifetime of regret. Are you willing to pay that price and ruin someone's life? If you drink, find a safe way home. Look out for others because no amount of fun is worth losing a life.
Endless scrolling. Restless nights. Exhausted days. Your body needs rest. Your mind needs sleep. Disconnect. recharge. Wake up refreshed.
Welcome back to Rebel Report. During the break, Kyle and I were talking about what players we want our teams to pick tonight. But before we get to the NFL draft, we got to talk about Tough Enough. Right, Kyle?
Yeah. Our very own reporter, Jordan Vega, sat down with 2-0 Tough Enough fighter Noah Kiska. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Rebel Sportsnet. Today in studio, we have 2-0 pro fighter Noah Kiska. Am I saying that right, Kiska?
Kiska.
Kiska,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah,
Noah
yeah.
Kiska, okay, perfect. All right, so he has a fight upcoming the Palms, April 24th for Tough Enough, right? What do you want to tell us about that?
Yeah, so April 24th at the Palms, a pretty big card going down. Got myself, got a couple other guys from Vegas that are really high level, and we're really looking forward to putting on a show for sure.
Your last fight was against Nasir Davis, which is a high-level striker out of Syndicate. Actually, he was used to imitate Sean O'Malley from Rob's fight. You dominated that fight. Like I think you really held the pace for that fight on the ground and up in the air, like you said, you were throwing leg kicks. What did you go into that fight thinking was gonna happen, and did anything happen during the fight that made you like, oh, let me switch up my game plan?
Yeah, so we went into it knowing Nasir was a really dangerous striker, so I couldn't just go out and like play that game with him, let him dictate the pace. I'm a wrestler by heart, I've done it all my life, so I started wrestling him, and I don't think he could keep the pace very well. So I think it eventually just wore on him over time, and I was able to dominate both the pace, the striking, the grappling, and just really every aspect of the fight for sure.
Yeah, so on to the wrestling standpoint, your foundation is wrestling, correct?
Yeah.
You wrestled at Fairmont State?
Yep,
right?
Fairmont State.
Yeah, okay. So going into your next fight, right, which is with Brandon Carrillo, he's a talented fighter. Record doesn't show it, right? He's fought some really beasts, big guys in the industry. But is that something you're like, I'm gonna lean on this fight because there's something sketchy, there's something there that you're like, okay, his grappling might not be there, I want to use his wrestling background, or are you going to surprise him and try to go to the hands?
So I think that against Nasir, a lot of people did get the representation that I'm just a wrestler. Not even, I did outstrike Nasir if you look at like the stats and everything, but the way I broke him down was with my wrestling. I think with Brandon Carrillo, I think I'm just a better fighter everywhere. I think he's super talented, he's tough, durable, and like you said, he's been in there with the best of the best. But I think no matter where the fight goes, I'll have success.
You've had 3 armbar wins in your fighting career, right? One in your pro, and the last one you just won by unanimous decision over Nasir Davis. I was looking at Brandon Carrillo's stats. He's very susceptible to arm bars and rear naked chokes. I know that's kind of your specialty, right? Yeah. Is that something that he needs to watch out for and look out for, because that's something you're gonna be actively looking for in the fight? Or you're just gonna like play with them and be like, maybe I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna just,
I think that like styles make fights for sure. For sure. And I think that he's definitely a better like jiu-jitsu fighter than he is in terms of like MMA. So if we grapple, I'm not sure where it'll go, but the same mindset every time I grapple someone is to find a kill. So if we end up on the ground, I'm definitely heading for a neck or an arm or something to get him out of there.
Yeah.
But if I can't get him down, if it's a stand-up fight, I'm not stressed. I have the best coaches in the world, so I know I'm prepared for anything.
So if you have any message to any people out there that might not know who Noah Kiska is, right? Might not have seen her fights, do you have a message for them to like why they should tune in to Tough Enough at April 24th, right? Why would they should tune in? What would that be?
I think when you watch me fight, you can kind of see everything that I've put into the sport, like in real time. I always deliver. I always have fun fights. A lot of people know me for being really high level, so I think that when you watch me, you never know what's going to happen, and it could just be a split-second thing, and it might blow your mind. So definitely tune in, and I'm just going to put on a show like I always do.
Well, thank you so much for being in the studio, man. I know we had already talked beforehand, and we had trained a little bit, we had rolled a little bit beforehand, but thank you for coming to the studio today to talk about your next fight. April 24th at the Palms, Tough Enough 153. It's going to be an amazing fight. Noah Kiska versus Brandon Carrillo. Must watch, and then the main event as well. So that's going to be at the Palms. It'll also be on UFC Fight Pass for anyone. This has been Rebel Sports Night with Jordan Vega.
Thank you.
That was an amazing interview, Jordan. Make sure to watch the full interview on Friday, May 1st, and check out Noah Kiska versus Brandon Carrillo tomorrow night at Tough Enough 153.
Looking toward the highlight of the night, the NFL Draft will be kicking off at 5 p.m. local time, where we will hear the Raiders punch their ticket for expected first overall pick Fernando Mendoza. I gotta tell you, Kyle, there's so much talent in this draft with guys like Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, and David Bailey. So hard to choose between them.
Hold your horses, real quick. You're not wrong. Those are all good players, Ariel. But how about the picks that will shock fans later tonight, similar to Michael Penix last year? I'm talking about guys like Jordan Tyson out of Arizona State. He hasn't been mocked as high as some of the other receivers like Mekhi Lemon out of USC or Carnell Tate out of Ohio State due to his long history of injuries. But believe you me, there is no better route runner in this draft, and he comes with the experience, having played in 33 games, totaling over 2,000 yards and 22 touchdowns. So don't be shocked if a team like the Saints pair him up with Chris Olave and call his name with the 8th overall pick.
That's pretty good, Kyle, but how about the big boys in the trenches? I'm looking at a guy like Peter Woods from the Clemson Tigers. Look out for him being the highest riser tonight with that big body at 315 pounds and scary athleticism, running a 1.67 10-yard split. It's almost too hard to pass on him. With his explosive first step and elite agility to fill gaps, he's very reminiscent of a former Clemson Tiger in Dexter Lawrence. And yes, I was hitting the 6'7". Look out for teams like Carolina Panthers who could call him as high as the 19th overall pick.
I don't hate that. I don't hate that decision. But I gotta say, you love those big boys in the trenches, don't you?
Look, I don't love them. I don't love the big boys as much as Justin Young and Marcus Bray do on Tell the Tape. They're always talking about him on there, so make sure to watch those before the draft happens tonight. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see later what happens. For more on the draft, make sure you tune into our Instagram at Rebel Sportsnet, as reporters Ricky Lust and Thomas Gobble will be in Pittsburgh. They're actually there already with draft updates all night long.
Well, that is all the time we have for today. Thanks for tuning in.
Be sure to check in next Thursday for another episode of Rebel Report. And also before Rebel Report, be sure to watch Studio G live at 12. For my first and final time from the desk, I'm Ariel Meza.
And for my final time at the desk, I'm Kyle Sparrow. Take care, guys.